All right, this is the Thursday homework check for the 4th grade group that's working on quarter 2, week 9. We're checking the Thursday section. Compare. I want your brain to just go, oh, she said compare. That means greater than, less than, or equal to. Because on a big test, it might just say compare the numbers, and it will not tell you this part. So you've got to start equating the word compare to these signs, okay? All right, and let's look. They both have a 4 in the millions place, but look here. In the 100,000s place, we have a difference. So 4,285,390 is less than 4,390,285. And right off the bat, this one's easy peasy. The millions place is different. So 9,382,483 is greater than 3,999,999. All right, finding the sum. 689,472 plus 278,376. 2 and 6 is 8. 7 and 7 is 14. I can give the 1 to the 3, so we've got 4 plus 4. It's 8. 9 and 8 is 17. I can give this 1 to this 7, and then I've got 8 plus 8. 16. 6 and 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Final answer, 967,848. Finding the product. So factor times factor equals product. And we have been breaking down the second number. So 8 is worth 80. 3 is worth 3. Breaking down 83 into 80 and 3. So we'll do 2 problems. And then we'll add the answers. We know we get to hang zeros off and just drop them down and pretend like they're not even there. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 1 is 33. 6 times 8 is 48, 49, 50, 51. Okay, now we're ready for 642 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And now we're going to add these together. So 51,360 plus 1,926. 6 and 0 is 6. 6 and 2 is 8. 9 and 3 is 12. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. And bring down your 5. Final answer, 53,286. All right, One Direction's fan club has 17,116 girls and 5,899 boys. About how many more girls than boys are there? All right, now we see this word about. It gives us special permission to round. So I generally look at the place value that both numbers have, and they both go up to have the thousands place. Now I can't do 10,000s place because this number does not have a 10,000s place. So for both numbers, we're going to go with rounding to the nearest thousand. Okay, so here we go with this one. Is the 1 high enough to round up to 7? No, it's not. And everything else becomes zeros. And here's our thousands. Is 8 high enough to round the 5 up? Yes, it is. It's going up to a 6. That circle is to remind me to fill everything else with zeros. Now it said how many more. It means we're comparing the two. We need to find the difference between the number of girls and the number of boys. Finding the difference always means subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down your 1. So, about how many more girls? We're going to say about 11,000 more girls. Okay, at the bookstore, Dan bought 14 books about the Civil War, 8 magazines about Abraham Lincoln. The books cost $13. The magazines cost $6. How much did Dan spend at the bookstore? All right, so let's go with the books first. He bought 14 of them, and they all cost $13. So that's 14 times $13. Then we're going to add that to the cost of his magazines. So he bought 8 magazines, and every single one of them cost $6. So we've set up our expression. All right, so we're going to do 14 times 13. Let's break apart the second number into 14 times 10 and 14 times 3. Drop the 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. So go to the next one. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So we have to add both of those. And we get 182 for this answer. And it is money, so we'll put a dollar sign. Bring down your plus sign. Now we get to do 8 times 6. Remember, 6 is the chef holding the 8. It's a cake, and he says the cake is 48. 48. And a dollar sign. Now we get to add $182 plus $48. 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 and 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. And 1 and 1 is 2. Woo-wee! He spent a lot at the bookstore. He spent $230. All right, now multiples are different from factors. Multiples are like counting by that number. So we're going to do one set for 6 and one set for 15. And then we'll look for the least or the smallest common one. That means that they're in both lists, okay? So counting by 6. 6, 12, 3 times 6 is 18, 4 times 6 is 24, 5 times 6 is 30, all right, and 15. 15, 30. I can stop. 15 wasn't in the list, but is 30 in both lists? Yes. So the least common multiple of 6 and 15 is 30. Final answer. We get to rewrite the mixed number as an improper fraction. All right, so here we go. We've got 2 wholes and 4/5. Let's start with the bottom. We're going to start right here and say 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 more is 14, and our denominator does not change. It's 14/5. Okay, now let's do the next one. That's how you do it. 6 times 1 plus 5 is 11, and the denominator has not changed, so 11/6. Now to prove this, if we drew it all out, if I did 2 wholes over here and 4/5 of another one, hate doing these odd numbers with circles, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get to color in 4 of them. Now, if we imagine, okay, here's 5, here's 5, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, I really do have 14/5 is the same as 2 wholes and 4/5. Okay, moving on to subtraction. We've got 1 and 4/10. Take away 3/10. We keep our fractions lined up. You're imagining that 0 right there. All right. 4 pieces minus 3 pieces. That would give us 1 piece, and the pieces are tenths. And 1 minus nothing is 1. Okay, and if we actually did that, we would have 1 whole, and then split 1 into tenths. That means 5 on each side. And I had 4 of them to begin with. And if I take off 3 of them, because that's what this is telling me to do, then I'm going to erase them. I'm going to leave 1. There it is. Y'all see that? then I really do have 1 whole and 1/10 left over. Right, find the sum. 3 2/4 plus 1 3/4. 2 pieces plus 3 pieces equals 5 pieces and they're fourths. And 3 plus 1 is 4. Problem, have an improper fraction here. So we're going to pull out another whole. And in fourths, I need 4 fourths to make a whole. So we're going to take that whole that we're pulling out, and we don't have 4 anymore, we have 5. And how many fourths would we have left over if we take away 4 fourths from the 5 fourths? We have 1/4 left over. And we could actually draw that out too and prove it to you. Dan drank 5/6 of a cup of orange juice in the morning and 5/6 of a cup of grape juice at night. How much juice did Dan drink? So we're going to add both of his juices together. We're going to say 5/6 plus 5/6. So 5 pieces plus 5 pieces equals 10 pieces. Problem, numerator's larger than the denominator. That's an improper fraction. But to pull out a whole would be 6/6. So we've got 1 whole, and we just took 6/6 away from the 10/6, and that leaves us with 4/6. However, we have to try the halving trick. Remember, if you can halve both of them, then you need to do that to reduce it to the simplest form. And there are other ways of getting that to simplest form also, but we're just starting easy. Okay, we still have our 1 whole. Now half of 4 is 2, and half of 6 is 3. So actually, it's better to say 1 2/3 rather than 1 4/6. This is the simplest way to say it. And we're done.